we definitely look at the China Plus as an advantage. Our per capita is still half of China. Our wage bill is almost half of China. So the potential for growth of India is immense. India is positioned very well for the next decade.
내년 글로벌 시장에 대한 전체적인 전망을 일단 부탁드리고요. 그리고 그 안에서 인도 시장은 어떠한 성장이나 어떠한 모습을 보여줄지도 답변해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
See, I mean, India is obviously in a very sweet spot, and it's been the fastest growing economy in the last 2 years in the world. We are seeing several structural factors to that. I did mention manufacturing as one big shift in India. India till now has been mostly an export or service export kind of a country. So this was very much needed in the structural change to India. So we really feel manufacturing is something which will propel India as a different journey in the future. I can give some data points on that. You can discuss the data points. I think what has helped manufacturing is the structural reform of what we call the performance-linked linked incentive, which the Indian government introduced, and that is encouraging manufacturers to start shop. We have seen some large global manufacturers shifting base to India, and that's due to PLI, and we see that going forward. The third part is we have this interesting digital window called the National Single Window System, where you can register companies digitally, and that's where India is really stepping it up, because in 2023 we had 122,317, that is 122,317 companies registering. But last year, this was compared to the previous year, which was just 115,000. So we are seeing a surge in companies getting registered in India and building business. I mean, if you look at some of the surveys that happened between 2023, UN Economic and Social Commission for Asia-Pac on digital and sustainable trade facilitation, India was positioned as a trade leader across the world. And I think what's also structurally changed for India is the change in Indian investors. Today, if you look at the Indian stock market, before COVID, it practically was dependent on foreign flows. But the Indian flows have changed substantially. What we call in India SIP, which is like RSP, which is giving a very structural support to the country, and this unlocking the Indian mindset towards financial assets. That's been the dramatic change, and then one has to view the Indian stock markets very differently post that. I think as we enter 2024, India could be entering into its steepest S-curve ever, where urbanization, industrialization, and growth in household income will propel India forward, and that's something which we look forward in a very buoyant manner. We definitely look at the China Plus as an advantage, but let's put some things in perspective. Our per capita is still half of China. Our wage bill is almost half of China. So the potential for growth of India is immense. India is positioned very well for the next decade. The potential is definitely there. If you see, the National Single Window System is a digital platform for companies to register. And between April 2023 and November 2023, a total of 122,000, I think 122,317 companies were incorporated. When you compare that to the previous year, it was 1.15. So when a survey was conducted in 2023 by the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia Pacific on digital and sustainable trade facilitation, it positioned India as a leader in global trade facilitation efforts. This was not something which used to happen earlier. I mean, our impressive score of 93.5 in 2023 compared to 90% in 2021. So we're seeing a 3% shift. So the point I'm making is more and more companies are being incorporated in India, and that's a healthy sign.
미래에셋이 쉐어칸을 인수한 게 한국에서도 많이 화제가 됐는데 그동안 이제 미래에셋이 인도에 대해서 투자를 많이 해왔던 것에 대해서 본격적으로 확장하는 그런 신호탄이 아닐까 이렇게 생각을 많이 하는 것 같습니다. 향후 쉐어칸과 어떻게 시너지를 낼 계획인지 구체적으로 설명해 주시면 감사합니다.
See, I think for us in India, it's a very proud moment. As you rightly said, it enforces the commitment of Mireeset to India. I think if you look at India, Sher Khan is one of the trusted names in the broking industry. So having a company like that under our wings is a matter of pride. It is, as you rightly said, acquired by Mireeset Securities. So how to build business from that platform will be very interesting for us to see. How to synergize between their business and ours will define success in the future. I think we are very excited by this acquisition. It is also a big news in India, and it takes the brand Mireeset one notch higher because it's a very large acquisition, one of the oldest broking names. But through this, we will be able to showcase our brand and our products to a large network of distributors and investors. Not only that, they have a very large franchisee network. So for us at Mireeset, our footprint just goes a very larger part, now goes to a very large part of the country. And I think the brand of Mire can be enhanced and taken to a different level through this acquisition, and that will be the basic objective of acquiring Sher Khan. I think what Mireeset can achieve in the next decade, now this forms a big enhancing factor to our plans in the next decade. It takes Mire to a different level now.
인도가 그 서남아시아 쪽 미래에셋이 공략하기 위한 거점이 된다라는 의미가 있을 것 같은데 그 부분을 좀 설명을 해주시면 재밌을 것 같습니다. 왜 그쪽에서 인도를 중심으로 내게 됐는지, 그리고 어떤 앞으로 그쪽 서남아시아 쪽으로도 어떤 확장 계획이 있는지 또 설명.
See, I think Dubai, and not only Dubai, the entire Middle East proposes a huge potential for Indians who stay there. You must understand a large population of Indians stay there, and they're fairly wealthy. So it was a natural progression for India to go to Dubai first, and then we established our first office in Dubai. But that is the first office. We'd like to cater to all the cities in Middle East in the next 2-3 years. I think one of the main purpose for establishing Gift City, which is India's first greenfield smart city and international financial services center, was to give appropriate products to them. And then we've already had one product through which we transferred from our Hong Kong office to Gift City, and now we intend to launch more products for overseas investors to invest in India. Maybe the first step would be to tap the Indians in Dubai and Middle East, and then offer it out to other products, other investors across the globe. But the plan of Mireeset, and you must also know that Sher Khan also has a presence in Dubai. So the combination of the both can lead to a good and strong establishment of Mireeset brand in the next 5-7 years in that part of the world. I personally view that part of the world to be one of the fastest growth centers in the next decade, and we want to actually benefit from that growth as Mireeset.